Let's take a look at the 10 new listings of online businesses for sale that Empire Flippers has for us this week. It is Monday, December 29th, 2025 at 10:55 a.m. Just got this email 52 minutes ago, so hot and fresh out the kitchen here. Let's take a look at them. I'm going to go through and share my own experience-based insight into, well, what I think about these listings and the details from what we can tell in the email, and ultimately my quick take on whether I would consider acquiring one of these businesses or pass. And I should express that as for each business, whether I would consider acquiring it or pass on it altogether based on the details we got in this email. Now, just to give you some context, because context is important, there's a lot of different perspectives that people take to acquiring a business of any kind, or a lot of different approaches or reasons why you might want to acquire a business. So, personally speaking, I like acquiring businesses that are established, profitable, and time tested. I call these robust businesses, but also what I call small growth opportunities. And hear me out on this. Small growth opportunities are, as the name implies, small businesses that have achieved a product market fit or an audience offer fit and have supply chain, fulfillment, distribution, all that stuff kind of fleshed out, and they have good opportunity to really grow quickly. Now, in the context of the business world, I really only look for small growth opportunities in online businesses. I've acquired offline businesses, home service businesses in particular, and in that case, I would not consider acquiring a small business or a very small one, or I would not look for a small growth opportunity. And the reason for that is because they lack scale. But with online businesses, they're very, very scalable once you've got the fulfillment and supply chain of the business, if that's even applicable, right? With digital product or software businesses, that's not applicable. Once you have that in place and you've got that audience offer fit, you can scale it up basically infinitely with very, very little or minimal, nearly no capital expenditure. Whereas with offline businesses, you got to dump a lot into capital expenditure. You got to hire employees. You got to, in the case of home service businesses, buy the vehicles. You got to train the employees, right? You got to stock all the vehicles, buy inventory, all of that stuff. So with online businesses, small growth opportunities look very appealing. On that note, let's jump into this right now. Let's see what we've got. I have not looked at these. First one, making $4,008 per month in profit, listed at $96,000, which is a 24x valuation multiple. Three faceless YouTube channels launched in late 2022. Faceless YouTube channels are interesting, but there's really not, from my perspective, they're really not robust businesses because they're so platform dependent on YouTube, number one. Number two, I don't consider them small growth opportunities because you really can't scale this up with paid ads in most cases, at least not easily. The growth thesis there is often, at a simple level, just publish more content. All right, to do anything else and really grow beyond that, to take the audience off YouTube or monetize them in any other way, it is a challenge and it's tricky. It's not something you can just really scale up. So I don't consider it a small growth opportunity. Next one, launched in 2025. It's an affiliate website making $16,000 per month in profit. I'm not interested in an affiliate website. They're typically platform dependent on Google. This one's interesting. Specializing in high quality, non-Google organic search-based content. I don't really know what non-Google could be. Maybe Pinterest. That's really the only other platform that comes to mind. Maybe Bing, but you're still platform dependent. Publishing very little value-add content in the affiliate world is, typically how it's done. In the world of AI, this just isn't robust. So going forward, I would pass on both of those two. Next up, we've got a Amazon KDP business making $8,334 per month. Listed at a 23x valuation multiple, launched in 2020. They publish books in the crypto, finance, and self-help niches. KDP businesses are digital product businesses, Kindle digital product. That's what the KDP means. It's at a relatively low valuation multiple. It's 5 to 6 years old at this point. but it's still platform dependent on Amazon. And I really don't see any way of growing this other than publishing more books on Amazon or valuing it like a bond, which, it is at a low valuation multiple here. This is probably how they considered the valuation for this on, a discounted cash flow analysis valuation. Basically, hey, it's going to produce this income, here's our discount rate and here's what it should be valued at. And that works out in theory as long as Amazon doesn't change your placement and as long as the books hold up for another 5 years. I don't really see much value from my perspective here. Next up is an e-commerce business making $28,000 per month in profit, listed at a 42x valuation multiple on an annual basis. That would be 3.5x, and that works out to a $1,200,000 valuation. It is a lean, profitable e-commerce brand operating in the home solutions market, founded in December 2021, built primarily on Shopify. Since launch, the business has grown around a flagship hero product and expanded into a diversified range of high-demand household solutions, establishing a strong presence across the United States and other English-speaking markets. So this is an e-commerce business, not Amazon dependent. I don't like, though, that it is dependent, or not dependent, but has one flagship hero product. Mentally, when I hear that, I'm not seeing it support a 3.5x valuation multiple. I think that valuation is a little lofty. And to really maximize the valuation on this, the seller has to diversify it across other products. Now, it's a fairly sizable business and it's been around for a few years, so I think you would be naive to consider or believe as a buyer that the seller has not tried already to diversify the product line away from this flagship hero product. And considering that it's listed or described in the listing as a flagship hero product, that they've been unsuccessful with it. So as a buyer, you've really got your work cut out here to diversify this business away from this flagship hero product, which is likely a challenge. There's something here, I think, but not at a 42x valuation. I would pass at this valuation, but maybe consider it at a lower valuation multiple. Next up is a SaaS business making $13,000 per month in profit, listed at a 21x multiple, very low for a SaaS. The business offers 2 AI-powered WordPress plugins launched in 2023. One plugin functions as an all-in-one AI workspace featuring custom brand voices, templates, and a Chrome extension to enhance business productivity. The second automates SEO article generation to help users grow organic traffic on autopilot. It seems interesting at a 21x valuation. I will say that oftentimes businesses with AI-powered and WordPress plugin and SaaS are listed at a much higher valuation. So I would be curious to see what the trend is here, right? Is the revenue trend stable? Customer acquisition increasing, decreasing? I would expect that it's in a declining trend, considering the valuation multiple that it's at. It's interesting. Would I consider? Yeah, I guess I would consider it. I would consider it considering so long as the trend is not substantially declining. Let's go on. Next one, making $29,000 a month in profit, is an agency listed at a 30x valuation multiple. It is a well-established digital-first marketing agency with over a decade of operating history, specializing in end-to-end digital transformation services. They deliver a full spectrum of offerings from digital strategy, branding, through execution. So it's been around for a decade. Valuation multiple is okay, but I would pass on this because I don't want to be in the agency business. I don't like having to answer to customers and clients. I don't mind answering to customers, at least when there's a product. Whereas with agency services, you can just get hung up doing everything. And so often in the agency business model, A, you can be pulled in 1,000 different directions all the time, but B, you're in the process, you're really in the business of selling agency services, right? Like you have to be damn good at selling agency services and not so good at fulfilling them. That is unfortunately the reality because marketing agency customers are not very sticky. They churn really quick. You have to be on top of the latest buzzwords and bullshit, even if it doesn't matter, even if what you have is a very good product. There's really nothing better. The customers are always chasing shiny objects. I have been in an agency business, did not like it, would not want to do it again, would not acquire one of them. Next up, I'd pass on that one, if that was not clear. Next one, making $2,300 a month in profit. It's a affiliate, Amazon Associates affiliate. Dynamic online businesses leverages highly efficient affiliate model by curating the best deals and products from Amazon across a myriad of categories. The website, built on WordPress and powered by specialized plugins and coding, automatically updates product. Okay, we've just got an Amazon affiliate product content website here. There's really not much of a value prop behind it. Great business for the person that owns it. Not a great business for you to buy. I'd pass on that one. And then we've got an Amazon FBA kitchenware business listed at a 54x valuation multiple, so 4.5 on an annual basis. Established in 2020, operating in the cooking utensils category with a strong, recognizable brand presence. The product portfolio includes 26 SKUs in the US, 8 SKUs across the UK and EU. Hero product boasting 6,000 reviews and an average rating of 4.7 stars. And I almost skipped over the monthly profit. Holy shit. $254,000 per month in profit, and they want $13 million for it, which, as we know, is a 54x valuation multiple. Gosh, I mean, my first take on this is that for an Amazon FBA business, this 54x valuation multiple is certainly lofty. I don't think that the business can support it, even though it is highly profitable, unless they have some type of patented product or a very strong moat. Now, they say 4.7 stars and 6,000 reviews, demonstrating exceptional customer satisfaction and a strong moat. I don't see that as being a strong moat. Because if somebody comes along and they get a couple hundred reviews at a 4.7 star and they start paying for placement above you, or Amazon gets into the space themselves and launches their own branded product in that space, which Amazon is notorious for doing, you're basically dead. Yeah, so while this business may be high in revenue and profit, and they may have trademark protections, I don't think that that supports this 4.5 or valuation on an annual basis or 54x on a monthly basis here. I think, I mean, I really have a hard time seeing this business being valued at more than 4x. Like, you really have to, and that would be 48x monthly, to really have a valuable Amazon FBA business. In my opinion, you have to diversify it off of Amazon or have something very well protected, patented, protected. If you diversify it off Amazon FBA, well, then it's no longer an FBA business, it's an e-commerce business. And again, at this size, like that other one that I was talking about, I think you'd be naive to believe the seller has not tried to diversify it off of Amazon and not been very successful with it. So they've been successful getting it to $254,000 a month in profit, which is not peanuts. What makes you think, as a buyer, that you can do better than them at diversifying it off Amazon? That's how I look at this here. I mean, I wouldn't even pay 4x for this business. I think low threes is a fair valuation for anything that is platform dependent on Amazon, particularly with no patents or anything protecting it. Yeah, I think that is very lofty. I would pass on it, certainly at that valuation. And finally, a display advertising business, small display advertising business, platform dependent on Google. It's a content website. I'm not even going to read these details here. I'd pass on that one. Pass on any display advertising business, no matter the size, unless it was at a very low valuation multiple. Certainly not at a 36x. And finally, another Amazon FBA listed at a 44x valuation multiple, founded in 2021, making $123,000 in profit, operates in the kitchen and gifting niches, well-established international footprint, 48 SKUs, 30 SKUs across the UK and EU. We don't see anything about patent or trademark in this teaser, and that works out to a little less than a 4x valuation multiple. I'd pass. They're just way better fishes to fry than a platform-dependent Amazon business at these multiples. I don't know who's buying Amazon businesses at these multiples. If that's you, let me know in the comments below, and also let me know if you agree with my take on these valuation multiples for these Amazon businesses. I would not pay much more than a low 3 multiple for a solid Amazon FBA businesses. If you agree with me on that, let me know. If you disagree, let me know, and let me know your case on why. If I'm missing something, I would love to hear from you. Like, am I missing something on these Amazon FBA businesses? So on that note, nothing, really interesting here, nothing that I'd really consider in these 10 listings from Empire Flippers this week. I have to say it's probably the first time in a while that I haven't found anything that I really like in their weekly sendouts. If you feel like there's anything I overlooked or missed out on, let me know in the comments. If there's something you would consider acquiring, let me know in the comments as well. I hope you guys found this video helpful and insightful. If you did, you know the drill. Smash that like button to help me out in the YouTube algorithm. I am calling it a wrap and signing off on that note.